Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Um, Welcome to our webinar of Study in. This session will be about the application via Uni-Assist, and I'm really looking forward to the next hour. My name is Maria. I'm working at German Academic Exchange Service, DAAD, in the headquarters here in Bonn in Germany, and I'm in charge of the website studyin.de. Our experts today are Jessica Demeter, consultant at Uni-Assist, and Steffi Ahrensee, service at Uni-Assist. They will tell you everything you need to know about the application via Uni-Assist. This webinar will last 1 hour. We have 20 minutes presentation of our experts and 35 minutes for your questions. On the left-hand side, there is the chat window where you can post your questions, and please be as precise as possible so the experts can answer them precisely. If you want to watch the webinar again, that's no problem as well. You'll find the recording of this webinar on our YouTube channel next week, and we will post the link in our Facebook channel. If you face any technical issues, please post them in the chat as well, and our technical advisor will get in touch with you. So far for the technical advice, we now switch to Berlin and say hello to our experts from Uni-Assist. Steffi and Jessica, would you please switch on your cameras and microphones? Hello, I'm pleased to see you. Let me say,
hi there.
How are you? Are you fine?
Thank you very much. How are you?
I'm fine as well. So let me say a few words to introduce you to our participants. Jessica Demeter works as a consultant at Uni-Assist. She processes applications from Middle and Eastern Europe. She checks whether applicants do have the qualification to study in Germany, transfers grades into the German grading system, and reviews whether applicants fulfill the requirements of the universities, for example, language proficiency. As a consultant, she also communicates with the staff at the Central Office for Foreign Education, as well as with applicants and the staff of Uni-Assist member universities on application matters. Hello, Jessica, again.
Hello.
Steffi Ahrensee is part of the service team of Uni-Assist. She answers inquiries of applicants from all over the world regarding the application process via Uni-Assist and advises applicants well before applying, during the application process and beyond. She also answers objections and complaints of applicants and corresponds with the Uni-Assist member universities regarding application methods. Hello, Steffi.
Hi.
At the beginning, Steffi will introduce us to Uni-Assist and gives us a short outline on what Uni-Assist does, before she will provide a step-by-step guide on how to apply via Uni-Assist. As she deals with inquiries on application matters on a daily basis, she will also give you useful hints for applicants. And after this, her colleague Jessica will tell us more about the required documents for the application and focuses on the application for a master's degree program. And afterwards, of course, they will answer your questions. Just post your question into the chat window and we do our best to answer as many as possible. So I'll now give the floor to Steffi. Would you please start the presentation?
Yeah, thank you very much. Hi, everyone. And hello from Berlin, wherever you are at the moment, and join us. We welcome you to our presentations, and I would like to start, as Maria just pointed out, by giving in general information on Uni-Assist and to get you better acquainted with the application process and what we do on a daily basis and make you understand the application process better. So, well, Uni-Assist was founded 2003 by 41 universities, the DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service, and the HRK, the German Rectors Conference. Uni-Assist has grown in the meantime. We now have 168 member universities, that being universities, technical universities, universities of applied sciences, art colleges, as well as academies of music. These are situated all over Germany. To give you an idea of how many applications Uni-Assist processed, I have a summary number here for in 2014 and 2015. Uni-Assist has processed 78,205 applications in total. So we can tell that the number of applications increases every year. These applications come from, and now I have the list of the highest numbers from countries. This is the first being Germany, followed by China, India, Russia, Cameroon, Ukraine, Bulgaria, Iran, Indonesia, and Morocco. The list goes on. What do we do? Uni-Assist is entrusted by its member universities with the administrative preliminary processing and review of foreign student applications. This means that we do the pre-check of applications for our member universities. Our main core is to evaluate international school and university certificates, and we check whether they are equivalent to German school and university certificates. We also check if our member universities wants us to, if further criteria are fulfilled, such as language skills and other things. In case an application is complete, Uni-Assist forwards it to the university electronically. What are the benefits for students? Well, it's basically, and that's the main advantage, is that students can hand in their application at one centralized service point. They use it to manage all their application. It's quite cheap compared to other ways of applying. Just imagine you apply to every other university directly. You would have to hand in separate sets of documents for each of these universities. You do not need to do that for Uni-Assist because you only need one set of documents. Also, if you apply at more universities than once, the price for the second application and the others followed is less compared if you would apply to each university directly. Or some of universities also have a quite high application or rate to apply, a high cost of money or just a member rate. You also save time when you apply via Uni-Assist. In that terms, as soon as you have the confirmation that we could forward your application, you can then directly go to your embassy or consulate to apply for a visa for Germany. It's also left up to you to decide at how many universities you want to apply. You can do applications for as many universities as you want to. Uni-Assist has two application procedures. The first is we do a pre-check of according to certain criteria which are set by the university. The second is a preliminary review documentation. That is called, in short, VBD, that being the Vorprüfungsdokumentation. I will now tell you more about these. The first, the pre-check according to certain criteria, means that Uni-Assist checks the equivalency of international and university certificates and checks further criteria as well. That might be different criteria. It depends what the university wants us to check. This could be language skills, German, English. It could be the minimum passing grade, especially for master courses, motivation letters, a CV, a reference letter, and so on. If an application is complete, it will be forwarded electronically to the university. In contrast to that, we have the preliminary review documentation. There's a big difference. First is it's only 22 universities that requires application procedure compared to the usual pre-check procedure that have the main university, or let's say the most university wants Uni-Assist to check more than just the international school university certificates. However, for this, if you have the preliminary review documentation, you do not need to prove German language skills or other criteria. If the result is positive and we can issue you a document that documents that you are allowed to apply for a university and that you can do so with your certificates. This document can be issued throughout the year and it is valid for 1 year from the date of issue. After you have that document, you submit it directly at the university or along with the other documents that you have to hand in. I will now show you an example of this VPD. Here you have it. There you see it's basically what you have is the data of you, the applicant, and what we have found out. We transfer your grade. We name it here. What you have, this is here school certificate, and beneath there's a university degree, and there's also the grade that was transferred, and overall the evaluation. And here it says you prove university entrance qualification with a mark. This document you hand in directly at the university. So now, how do you apply via Uni-Assist? We first of all would like to recommend to you that you apply with greatest care and that do that well in advance. That's how you make sure that your application is successful. The first step for you is to gather information in regard to courses of study, admission criteria, and deadlines. Uni-Assist cannot advise you on the exact admission criteria. Each university determines what documents applicants have to hand in when the application period ends, and whether Uni-Assist is in charge. This is a later point. It's important that you provide the required documents and the copies that are needed and the authentication. The university determine how to apply. That means what formal criteria have to be met. Some universities, let's say many of the universities, do need authenticated documents. Some, however, say that's all right if you apply with simple copies of documents. Then it is important that you find out how you should apply. That if you should apply directly at the university or via Uni-Assist. There might be a difference. Sometimes might not be clear to you. There's a difference for the universities. They determine applicants groups. They might distinguish whether people come from a certain country that they have to apply directly or that they have to apply via Uni-Assist. They could also say for certain courses, Uni-Assist should check applications, or total all master applications have to be processed by Uni-Assist. So it might vary. It's good if you inquire directly at the university. Then, if you have your documents ready and you know that you should apply via Uni-Assist, send your documents to us. If it's good, we need time of processing, let's say, of 4 to 6 weeks. That might vary, but it's good if you apply as early as possible and give us some time to process your application. Make sure that you meet the deadline, and that also applies to the VPD application procedure. You would have to hand in that document within the application period directly at the university. So, when you have your documents ready, it's important that you hand in an application form as well. Please do that for every university you apply at. Hand in a separate application form. That might vary. Some universities have own application forms that you can download at the website. Some universities provide that one on the Uni-Assist website. I will now show you where you find that. I have now printed the picture of the online application. You can see that one here. If you have registered within the Uni-Assist website and you have gotten an application number, you can log into your account at the website, and there you will find the feature to search for study offers as soon as you have logged into your account. At the very top, it is a little tiny, I'm sorry. You can choose the semester you want to apply for, and up down here you can choose from the drop-down menu whether you want to apply for a bachelor course or a master's. And here you will find the universities that you want to apply at. So this is how you create an application form. Please hand that one in at Uni-Assist, or the one you should hand in, and then we can process your application. When you have registered in your online account, you can use the online features that are displayed. You can also use it to contact us via our contact form. Then, of course, it's important that you pay the handling fees for processing your application. Uni-Assist needs an amount of money in order to process your application, and this is set up for each application per semester. It is at the moment, the rate is 75 euros for the first application, and from the second application on, it's 15 euros. You will find detailed information and also methods of payment at our website. Once we have received your payment, this is also the same for application documents, we will send you a confirmation by email. Then that's how you will always update it. Now, then please send all your paper documents to Uni-Assist along with your application form that you have printed and signed. We will give you a confirmation of email, just as I said. Now it is time for Uni-Assist to process your application once we have your documents and the payment. Then you have time up until deadline to hand in missing documents or make changes to your application, whether you want to change your course of study or you want to change data. You can do that up until the deadline. When we have checked your application, you will be notified by us by email and mail on the checking result. You can also track your application status as you log into your account. In the end of my presentation, I would like to give you a few information on the reason why some applications could not be forwarded by us, which might be interesting for you in order to prepare your application. So in 2014, the main reasons why we could not forward application was that the application documents were handed in incomplete. Some information was missing, like the application form was not signed, or let's say the transcript of records was not handed in, certified, or other documents that the university required was not handed in. Second reason was that the language skills were not sufficient. Some universities require a certain level of language proficiency, and if you have to prove that, then please make sure that you hand the proof in. Also, what could occur is that the desired course of study is not offered in that term you apply at. In that case, we cannot forward your application. Also, quite an important reason is that an application was handed in after the deadline, or missing documents were handing in after the deadline. Unfortunately, Uni-Assist cannot forward applications once the deadline has expired, unless the university allows that. As you can see here, the required minimum grade may not be met. That is also, as we transfer grades, it might be the case that it meet the requirement. If only one application for one subject is allowed, you cannot apply for more. So we would have to decline the second application in that case. Also, if you apply for direct admission to a university and you actually cannot study directly yet, we find out that with your certificate, you do not prove that you can study directly, but you have to pass the Studienkolleg first. That would mean that we have to inform you that you either have to do the Studienkolleg first and may apply directly at the Studienkolleg, as Uni-Assist is not in charge. Yeah, and that's also a reason once you hand your documents in, we of course check them, and it might occur that the university entrance qualification for German universities is not proven. We would also inform you on that. I wish you the best of luck for your application, and I hope that in the chat following afterwards we can have questions if you feel free to just send them to us. I will now pass the word to my colleague.
Thank you very much, Steffi, and hello again to everybody. Steffi now gave some advice about formal criteria. I now to try to be specific and tell you what from my side, from the perspective of a consultant at Uni-Assist, is important for your applications. So, first, when I get your documents on my table, I am first checking if everything I need for the evaluation is available. That is, the application form, and if it is the correct application form, depending on the university. Then, if the application form you have handed in has a signature in the original, then I check what course you're applying for, if you're applying for a bachelor's degree or a master's degree. And according to that, I check if all relevant documents are present. That can be the school leaving certificate, possibly also the transcript or the university entrance examination or an undergraduate degree. If the necessary documents are complete, I check whether they have been handed in a formally correct form, which usually means as officially authenticated copies and possibly as sworn translations if not issued in English. I also check if there is any proof of German language skills and if they fit the requirements given by the universities. And that is one of the main keys. The requirements given by the universities may differ a lot between each other. Then I check if the proof of German language skills you have handed in matches the requirements by the university and process your application either for the preparatory German language course, for the language exam, or directly for the course you're applying for. Then I check and document which additional documents have been handed in, like a CV, a passport copy, a letter of motivation, letters of reference, work experience, and so forth. The evaluation of your documents is carried out according to the evaluation recommendations from the Central Board for Foreign Education. In German, that is Zentralstelle für ausländisches Bildungswesen, ZAB. They document the school leaving certificates, universities, and university degrees in all countries and give recommendations how they can be evaluated in relation to German school leaving certificate university documents. But please be aware, the information is not always up to date, and sometimes we have special cases in which we have to discuss with the regional experts so that there might be individual consultations and specific reports which cannot be found on the ANABIN homepage. So that's what I do with your documents. What you can do in preparation, my colleague Steffi already explained the formal criteria, but you also can inform yourself about the specific requirements related to your home country. First, you can inform yourself on the homepage of Uni-Assist about special requirements we need for your evaluation. There are not every information for every country. If there is no special mention of your home country, you usually can rely on the data given by, and this is the second link, I want to advise you to search on the UNIBIN homepage, which has the most relevant criteria from the Central Board for Foreign Education. I want to show you 2 examples. So, this is the information on our homepage. This is an incomplete list, and it's not all you can see on the homepage. But if your country or the country you come from is in that list, you can click on it and find some further information. Then the second thing I want to show you, the UNIBIN homepage, I want to show you on the example of a real school leaving certificate, which is in this case a school leaving certificate from Palestine. This is the document. You can see the name of the document, which is over there. Yep. And you can see the stream of the document. Then you can see here, in this case, this is the homepage of UNIBIN. In this case, I know that the certificate comes from West Bank. So I can see here, this is the document I have. And then I see the stream, which was scientific stream, and I click on that. And what I can see then, unfortunately, the homepage is only in German. But if you're applying to Germany, perhaps you already understand a bit or have someone who can help you. And I click on it, I see that the certificate, because it is, has a grade more than 65%, leads to a direct university degree. I can see that here. If I go back there, you can see there's the percentage, which is 93%. And then for the conversion of the grade into the German grading system, I need, which is given here, the maximum grade and the minimum passing grade, and the number, the grade you have achieved, which is here, in this case, 939. And then I put it, to show you how we convert the grade, into the so-called modified Bavarian formula. In this case, I take the maximum, which was 1000. ND is the grade point achieved, which in this case was 939. And divided through the difference between the maximum and the minimum, which is 1000 minus 500, which lasts 500. In this case, I already did the conversion, and the result of this part is 0.122. Taken 3 times, it's 0.36, and then adding 1 gives as a result the German grade 1.36, and as many of you of course know, the German grading system 1 is the best and 4 is the minimum passing grade. So that was a short explanation of how the evaluation of a school leaving certificate is processed. Now, as announced, I will try to give you some more information about an application for a master's degree. So, what are the requirements? First, what I cannot emphasize enough is that you always should inform yourself directly at the university what you want to apply for. That is not only relevant for an application for a master's degree, but always. Visit the homepage of the university, and if anything is not clear, get in touch with the staff of the International Office or the Student Advisory Service. The more information you gather in advance, the more chances of success you have. And what also Steffi also emphasized, apply soon enough so that there might be some time left to complete your application in case anything is missing. So, if you want to apply for a master's degree, that may be possible when you have not yet finished your degree, but if you're about to finish or are in your final semester. Inform yourself at the university if that is possible, and what kind of confirmation they need. Sometimes they need a whole transcript. Sometimes they also need a confirmation from the university saying that you're about to finish. Another important fact is the duration of the first degree. Some universities in Germany require a foreign degree, which is equivalent to a 3.5-year or a 4-year bachelor degree from Germany. To evaluate that, we again consider the criteria given by the Central Board for Foreign Education. I want to show you an example again. This is a university degree from Egypt. On this example, I can explain to you several issues. First, we can see that we usually need the certificate, which is this one, and the transcript, And in this case, we can see the final grade on the certificate, but to see how long the study took, so the duration of the grade, we need the transcript as well. The second thing we can see in this example is that these documents are issued in English in the original. In this case, we do not need a sworn translation, but if the documents would not have been issued in English, we also need a sworn translation so that we can read it. We cannot read all languages of the world, unfortunately. The third thing we can see is this transcript is about 4 years. So now I go to the Unbin homepage to evaluate what does that mean. I can see here that a duration of 4 years can mean, like seen here, that it's only equivalent to a 3 years bachelor in Germany. So unfortunately, it would not meet some requirements of some universities if they want to have an equivalent to a 4 years bachelor's degree. So again, also in the conversion of the grades of a university degree, we use the Bavarian formula. As we have seen before, how this works, so I won't explain it again. But what is a bit special in university degrees is that the grading systems applied at the universities in the same country may differ. In many cases, the grading system is already in our database or is on the back of the transcript. But in some cases, we have to request a grading system with a minimum passing grade for the whole degree. And please be careful because they may not be the same, even in the same university. Some faculties have different grading systems. And also, the grading system or the passing minimum may be different for a single course or for the whole degree. So please understand if we have to request some additional data, and the best would be to gather this information from your home university in advance. So as a summary, for an application for a master's degree, there are some specifics which might have to be considered. There might be required special language skills, not only or even not German, but only English or another language. There might be required a letter of motivation or recommendation letters. Even some tests like the GRE or the GMAT might be required by some universities. And if you have studied in Germany or in the EU, many universities require the matriculation or the removal from the register of studies or even all transcripts you have had before. Also, like I just explained, the grading system of the home university may be relevant, or some additional things like work experience. Important is that all these issues might be relevant, but do not have to. So the most important advice is to inform yourself directly at the university and to apply as soon as possible so that we can inform you about what is missing and what you still have to hand in before the application deadline is going to expire. So far that's from my side. If you have any questions, you can post them now in the chat or later on via our contact form on the homepage. There you find how you can contact us via email, or also there is a telephone number, so if you have urgent matters, you can call us. But please be aware that we cannot give too much information about the contact or the single universities. You have to contact the universities directly. So far from my side. Open for questions now.
Okay, I'm back. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you also, Steffi. We're waiting for you. Yes, hello. There we are. So thank you again for your presentation. And our users have posted many questions in the chat. I've collected them all. Let's see how far we get. I would like to start with a question from Nam. And he or she, I'm not sure, asked, should I send only the original one or copy the test result and attach with the application documents? Oh. Are you here? Yeah, you're there.
Yeah.
Yes.
He or she should never send the originals of any documents. The best would be always to send officially authenticated copies. So copy the document and go some place where they can do an authentication. Never give out of the hand your original documents. Was that the question?
I hope so. Let's see if we get an answer in the chat, but thank you for that. Then there was a question about if you can give guidelines on how to write the motivation letter. Is there a motivation letter needed? Is my first question, and if so, can you give a recommendation on how to write a good motivation letter?
I think we cannot do that because the requirements by the universities are very, very different. Some universities, I know they have like a guideline on their homepage, and they say we want to know why you want to do that, what your plans for the future are, stuff like that. But that's really depending on the course and sometimes even from the faculty. So my advice is only that is an information you have to gather directly at the university.
Okay. If I may add something, we will have an information about how to write a good motivation letter in general tomorrow on our Facebook page, so you might have a look on that too. Okay, then there is a question from Anush Kumar, and this question was, if in case we don't meet the eligibility criteria for the respective university, can we compensate that by gaining relevant experience or excellent motivation letter or excellent GRE score?
If the duration of the degree is not long enough?
If they don't meet the eligibility criteria for the respective university.
That depends. If you don't meet a grading minimum, for example, a university sets for a special course, or the duration of the grade has not been long enough. Mm-hmm. There are universities, say, if you have like working experience or exceptional recommendation letters from professors, they can be healed, to say that. But that's also criteria by the universities. The universities set their criteria, give them to us, and then we only apply them. So we can only, if the university says, okay, there is something you can do to hand in additionally, we will forward it, but we cannot decide anything on that term.
Okay, good. Then there was a question by Lena, and she asked, this is now concerning the master's applications, I guess. Lena asked, can I also apply if I don't have my bachelor's certificate yet?
As I said in the presentation, it is possible sometimes when you are already in the last semester or have a certain amount of time of study or of ECTS behind you, and the university confirms she's going to graduate in 3 months, for example. There are universities where you can apply then, but also that, unfortunately, is an information which I cannot give in general, but have to be gathered at the university directly.
Okay. Okay. There is another question which just popped in by Zain. And it was asked, when exactly should I send my applications to Uni-Assist? And she or he is in second year of A levels. I think it refers to the same topic, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Of A levels then? So this means he's close to finishing school?
Yeah, school, yes. Bachelor application.
Yeah, well, we always say it's good to apply as early as possible. It's of course important that you hand in your school certificate, and this must be done according to or up to the application deadline. So if you have your certificate or might not have it for the actual application deadline, please inquire directly at the university if that is all right, if you hand that one in later. But always to apply as soon as possible, so you can make sure in case documents are missing, you can hand these in.
Okay, thank you. Now there were certain questions on the VPD document, and Iqbal asked, how would Uni-Assist know that I have to apply for a VPD?
Well, yeah, basically, as I said, it's the university that decide how you should apply, if it's VPD procedure or pre-check, usual pre-check procedure. Well, we know as soon as you apply at that university, that's how we will process your application. And in the end, you will receive either the pre-check result or the VPD that you can hand in. Yeah, and also if you want to see which university take part in that VPD procedure, you can have a look at our website. If you go to VPD Vorprüfungsdokumentation, we list all universities. It's, as I said, 22. And we have 168 member universities. It's not the majority, it's less.
Okay, thank you. And Iqbal also asked another question. I think you kind of have already answered the question, but I want to ask it again to make it clear for everyone. Is the application for VPD the same as the regular application?
More or less. We need kind of the same documents. We also need the university and the school leaving documents. And we need officially authenticated copies and sworn translations if not issued in English. The difference is that we do not do the check on the language skills, but we document which kind of language certificates have been handed in. And I cannot say how much the universities look into what we have documented, but the difference is that when you get the VPD, then the people have to apply directly at the university as well. So the letter they get from us, the VPD, they have to send it at the universities, and might be that they have to hand in some documents in a double way. So information before at the university is important as well.
Okay, thank you. And then I have another question concerning the VPD, and I think it also refers to as what you've just said. Nam asked this question. I've applied for VPD via Uni-Assist. If I want to do further application to a different university, do I need to resend the secondary school certificate since I've sent one already?
It's, as I said, it's only needed that we only need one set of documents. So this also applies to either VPD and the other application procedure. So it doesn't matter. Just make sure one set of documents reaches us. So if we already have received your school or university degrees, you do not need to hand this one in. But as the criteria vary, it might be that one university does not need that one, that copy certified, and the other one needs it. So you must make sure that the documents you hand in meet all criteria.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there was another question also about the requirements concerning the university's requirements. And Anna asked, hello, I would like to ask if I can make a pre-inscription to the university through Uni-Assist, having a B1 level of German. I think that she is referring that usually you need a B2 level, and she doesn't have it yet.
Mm. That depends on what university she's applying for, because the universities have very different criteria, especially concerning the language skills required. There might be some preparatory German language courses for which B1 is enough. There are also some universities where you don't need any German language skills to inscribe in the preparatory German language course. So that also is an information to gather at the university. But I just want to emphasize that You cannot do an inscription via Uni-Assist because Uni-Assist is only doing the preliminary pre-check for the universities. So we document what is there and we say if all the documents have been handed in the correct form, and then we forward it to the universities. And the final decision about who can be inscribed and matriculated is by the universities, not by Uni-Assist.
Okay, good. There are some other questions about when to submit the documents, and I'm just asking them also. Go asked, it's the same question as you've answered already. When can I submit documents for processing to Uni-Assist? Do I have to wait for my A-level A2 results? Can I apply using AS result first? How about test stuff? I think you've already answered this kind of question. I don't know exactly what AS is, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it refers to British school certificates. Is that all right? GCE levels? Is that might be the case? Yeah. Well, yeah. In that case, it's just better way of putting it. Just inquire directly at the university if your final degree is already needed. If that is the case, you would have to hand in the final degree or your graduation certificate. If you have not, if you do not have that one in that time, the university might be able to grant you an extra time, but that's up to the university.
Okay, so if I get it right, it's always good to inquire first to the university. It's never bad to ask them before.
Exactly, that's the case. Yeah, and it's also what I see here is that we have many specific questions. What is needed if the test does? I just read also if TOEFL or IELTS is inquired. Yeah, by Nishant, that question here for pursuing MBA. Well, yeah, that also depends on the university. TOEFL and IELTS are both accepted as English, as proof of English language skills, but in which level, as they can, as a result can be different, which level they have to be proven, that really depends on the university. And sometimes it's already enough if you go to the home page, just go up to the university website, see what they do need. In most cases, they have a checklist. There you will find it all listed. And maybe you will get your information then right away.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a really good hint to just read really good what the university sets for the requirements. I think it's really important to just repeat and to focus once more, to really read the requirements and to make sure to meet the requirements, isn't it?
Yes.
And this is one of the first steps. This is the pre-step for a successful application.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's always, in the end, when the application deadline is over and you are, maybe sometimes it's rushed, the situation is rushed and you feel, oh, the deadline ends tomorrow. I would like to apply. That's always not a good situation to start your application with. It's always good if you prepare and that you know what comes up to you. And of course, it might be complicated to apply at first. You might feel, oh, many documents are needed, especially if you apply for the first time. But it's worth taking the time and preparing. And then you will, of course, be notified by us if documents are missing.
Okay, so I'm continuing with questions by our users, by our participants. And Go asked another question. Do we have to translate the school learning certificate to German? He or she is from Malaysia.
What language is it issued in? If it is issued in English, translation is not necessary. So that's the simple core is we accept German and English documents.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is issued in any other language, we need a sworn translation.
Okay, so to make that clear, the documents can be in German or English, and if they're not in either of the languages, they have to translate it.
Yes,
And they have to authenticate the copy or the translation, don't they?
yes,
Mhm.
they have to do that.
Yeah.
It's also on the translation, if the stamp of the, perhaps if they are already in Germany and are doing an translation in Germany, if the stamp of the translator is in the original, that might be sufficient. But a copy of the stamp is not sufficient, so either the original stamp of the translator or an officially authenticated copy.
Okay, thank you. I
Yeah.
think that was really clear.
Also, what's good.
Do you want to add
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know. I'm not sure if there has been a question on that, but it's good that you please do not send us original documents, meaning if you have a university degree and a transcript that was issued to you only once, please do not send that one to us, but make a copy of it and get it certified. Yeah. Then you make sure you can use your original documents in case you want to apply elsewhere, but do not send that one to us, please.
Okay, thank you. And the next question is about the original copies. And Anna asked, can you please tell in what time I get back original copies after applying to Uni-Assist? And if I get a paper with my recalculated marks according to the German system, as my diploma marks are Ukrainian. Thank you in advance, she writes.
Well, if it happens that you send us original documents, we would have to send them back to you. As we want to avoid this because it's a time-losing procedure, we would ask you to please, or it is required that you pay us for this procedure, as we need to check which are the original documents, need to put them in the mail and everything. So it is charged with a fee. But if you have sent us original documents, please contact us directly via our contact form. We will then have a look into the matter and we'll contact you, of course, and let you know.
I think she wrote original copies. Yeah, she asks when you get back
Okay.
original copies, indeed, yeah. But it's good to know what happens if they really send originals.
Yeah,
So,
okay. Well, for copies, it is like this. We keep documents for 1 year, but we cannot send them back. Yeah, just as I said, we have some 80,000 applications per year in the last year, and all of them contain application documents. So we keep these ones, but we cannot send them back as it is an administrative, it's too big to handle that. So even in exception cases, if one asks us to send us back, we unfortunately cannot do it. If, however, there are strong reasons for you to have these documents back, we would also ask you to send us this fee, but you would have to contact us directly.
okay, good, thank you. The next question is also about mistakes in application papers. And it was asked, if we make some mistakes in application papers, could we correct them later if there's still time until the deadline?
For example, anything is missing or we need some further information, you can always hand in further documents until the end of the application deadline. And if you apply soon enough, we are going to process the application and tell you exactly what is missing. So perhaps if you have only handed in the certificate of your university degree, we will write you that we need a transcript of all semesters you have studied, and we need it officially authenticated and in sworn translation if not issued in English. So we will give you quite precise information about what to hand in if there is still time left.
Okay, good, thank you. Then there were two questions about Studienkolleg, which is a foundation course, a preparation year for everyone who does not yet know what a Studienkolleg is. The first question about Studienkolleg is how to apply for Studienkolleg via Uni-Assist. That's pretty complicated.
Well, if you already know that you need to apply for Studienkolleg, then you can fill out, and of course you find out that Uni-Assist is in charge for processing application for that Studienkolleg you want to apply at. Then create an application form either for that Studienkolleg directly, if it is required to do it like that, or for the university that that Studienkolleg belongs to. Or it might be a different one that, you know, is as another university, but ask you to apply there. You can then create an application form within the online application of Uni-Assist, and you do so by choosing that university or Studienkolleg. Then you choose a course you want to apply for, and in the end, you are asked whether you want to take part in the Studienkolleg. So there's an option to answer that question. And if you put yes, then we know that you want to take part. And there might also be the option of, oh, well, I'm not sure yet. If I have to do it, I would then do it. Yeah, but you will find that question in the application form.
I would like to say something to that topic as well. Because firstly, it is important that not every university in Germany has a Studienkolleg or offers a Studienkolleg. So the most important thing is to inform in advance if the university you want to study at offers a Studienkolleg. And then Studienkolleg is not a point of choice. So we evaluate if you have to visit a Studienkolleg, and if you do not have to, you're also not allowed to. So even if you say, yes, I want to visit a Studienkolleg, if you do not have to, we won't process the application for a Studienkolleg. Because that's not kind of a preparatory language course. That is for people who do not have a direct university entrance qualification yet. So those are two different things, and I think it's quite important not to mix them up.
That's a really good point to bring up. Thank you for that. In case you want to do a preparation year, that's possible if you attend a preparation course, which is different than a foundation course, which is the Studienkolleg. I think it's really easy to mix those both up, but they're different. Studienkolleg is compulsory, and prep course is you can choose to do a prep course. But Studienkolleg, if you have to do it, you have to do it. Is that right? Yeah. I think that's good. Okay. Then there's another question about Studienkolleg. Ziad asked, do I need the VPD if I have to attend the Studienkolleg?
There are some universities. So if you have a VPD, that depends on the university you're applying for. And we also have universities where you get a VPD for Studienkolleg. So if you apply for a certain university and they are part of the VPD process, then we will send you a VPD, and on that it says that you also have to apply for Studienkolleg at the university or at the Studienkolleg directly. Also for Studienkolleg, it may be a VPD process.
Okay, thank you. I have some problems with my video and audio, I think. I'm not sure. I hope you can hear me well.
We do.
We do.
Okay, good. Then there is another question, not about the Studienkolleg anymore, but Go answered another question about the certification of the documents. And the question is, who is qualified to certify true copy?
Yeah, well, you can first see that if the original seal is there, if there is a stamp on that paper. Sometimes even, you know, it's even printed deep into the paper itself. So you can just, even by touching, you can sometimes feel that it's a real copy. But usually, of course, you see it by the color and by the quality itself, original or not. Sometimes it is even signed. Yeah, and yeah, I hope you have heard me. I see that we have a little.
Yeah, your audio is a bit bad again, but we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, and who is allowed to do the qualified copy? Is there anyone I can go to first, or where can I go to if I want to have a copy to certify? I know in Germany.
There are some institutions in Germany who are authorized to authenticate your documents. For example, those are diplomatic missions of Germany, culture departments of the embassy in the country in which the certificate was issued. Or in Germany, all public authorities and notaries are authorized to carry out official authentication. What also is possible that the schools or the universities that issued your documents in the original, so the school you have finished school at, or the university you have studied at, they can authenticate their own documents always. And yeah, every department of education as well.
Okay, thank you.
But that information you find on our homepage as well. So there's a list of institutions you can go to.
Okay, thank you. For everyone of our users, you can see it is already 5 o'clock, and usually we planned to finish at 5 o'clock, but we have decided that due to so many questions, we prolong the webinar for 15 minutes. So there are 13 minutes left. I hope that we will be able to answer all of your questions by that time. If we do not manage to answer all your questions, please be not mad at us. We're really giving our best. Just either post them on our Facebook page or send them directly to Uni-Assist.
Yeah, that is no problem. Yeah, feel free to contact us. May I just hop directly into one of the questions I see here, which I also think is a point. I see that somebody, it's Rani, asked about information on PhD. Well, yeah, Uni-Assist does not process PhD applications at all. So all information, and you can apply directly at each university you want to apply at.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm at the moment providing you with the website where you can check information about PhD studies, which is research in Germany .de. Okay. Okay, I continue with the questions. Flavio asked, how long does it take to gather all documents, checking if it's everything okay to be approved to start a master course?
Might differ. And it also depends on how many documents you have to provide and if they need to be translated. What we hear is that it might take, from applicants, that it might take some time. But once you have them, you of course can use them for various, purposes. And yeah, it also depends on where you get your certifications done. If it's easy to translate, or if it's already issued in English, then that is easier to hand them in. But it takes some time. I think it's better time to prepare documents than less, to make sure that you have everything provided.
Okay, so the earlier the better. It's the easy.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just see the recent questions is the fee, whether it can be sent via Western Union. Unfortunately, we do not offer that service. Can pay by credit card or transfer. And for credit card, there's some countries that we cannot accept credit card payment from. They are listed at our website. I think it's in total some 10 countries all over the world that are taken out from that method of payment. But definitely it is fine to transfer the payment, and of course somebody else can pay on. He or she should just make sure that he mentions your application data. Then we know it.
Oh, your audio, I can't hear you clearly. I don't know if everyone has a problem. Now it's better, but I've just had problems hearing your audio. But thank you. So we have 3 other questions about the handling fee. And there was a general question from Anush Kumar. How can we pay the handling fees? I mean, you already answered the question, but if you don't mind, just repeat once more.
Yeah, just because it's a small time frame we have now, it's best if you go to our website and have a look there. We have a section, a menu point on fees and payment, and everything is listed, detailed, and you can contact that. But of course, I can tell just now you can pay either, as I said, by transferring or credit card. That's the only way you can pay. But as it's, especially transferring open to other people as well, or only you have to pay it, then you can, of course, it should be a way of making it work.
Okay, so I think this answer, just check the website of Uni-Assist concerning how to pay the handling fee, because there were some questions, how do I pay the fee from India or from another country? Just check the website. And there is another question from Alia Saiva, and the question was, is it possible that universities pay the fee? Because here is that the fee will be paid by TU Berlin. And the question was, does that mean that I don't have to pay the fee myself?
Yes, yeah, that's good to mention. There are a few universities that pay for applicants themselves. So the application as such is for free for you. That being for the TU Berlin. For master's courses in general, might also be University of Potsdam for many master's courses, and the list goes on. So there are quite a few, and they are also listed at our website, and you will there have all the information you need.
Okay, thank you. As we only have 7 minutes left, I'm not going to collect new questions from the chat. I'm sorry, time is really almost running up. I'm only going to ask the questions which have already been posted in the chat before. There was the question from Michael. Can I apply for a pharmacy master degree via Uni-Assist? Which is a good question, which I can answer because there is no pharmacy master in Germany, isn't it? There is only the Staatsexamen in Germany, which is a special degree in Germany, and pharmacy and also medicine are such studies which only can be studied in a Staatsexamen, which takes 6 years. And so you cannot apply for a pharmacy master degree via Uni-Assist. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. But there might be some related courses which have like a big part of pharmaceutical sciences in it, and that's only like the offer of the universities. And I think there are some homepages where you can search for the direction of studies you want to go to, and which universities have such courses. I don't know exactly what, but it's to find if you Google it.
Yeah, and on Study In, we also have a database where you can really precisely choose the course of study. You can choose the study field and a master degree. So you can find alternatives to a master's, to a STARS exam in pharmacy. Okay, then there was another question which also relates to the subjects. Anonymous asked, so can't we apply for different subjects via Uni-Assist?
You can, of course, apply for more subjects than one, if you do so. The university decides. Sometimes you can apply up to for, let's say, 5 applications or 5 courses of study. But as soon as you cannot apply for more than 1 or 2 or 3, we cannot process these applications, of course. But again, the university can tell you.
Okay, good answer. Another question of Noman. If some university have the requirement of 2.0 GPA on German scale, and if we apply with 2.3 GPA in that university through Uni-Assist, then Uni-Assist will send my documents to the university or not?
That depends on what the university asks us to do. Some universities say if the minimum grade is 2.0, they say, okay, you can forward until 2.5, and then we will individually decide which people we want to get into our course and which not. And some universities say if you have like very good recommendation letters or work experience, you can heal the grading, the minimum grade, which is not fulfilled. But we cannot decide, and we cannot exceptions. That's also to be informed about at the university.
Okay, thank you. Natalia once more asked a question you kind of answered. How long do you need to process the application of, for example, a master's degree? How long does it take you? Less than a year? I guess so.
Yeah, it usually takes us 4 to 6 weeks to process applications, and then we will inform you. That time starts from the time you have received your application and your payment, if it has to be paid for the application. From that time on, you can count 4 to 6 weeks, but still, that's not a guarantee. It might, always take a different time, but that's the usual procedure time.
Okay, so
also we have the information how long it takes.
I'm sorry, I think I've interrupted you.
Yeah. Sorry?
Okay. Okay. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to kind of end the session because it's 2 minutes before 5:15, which means that more than the official time is over now, and I'm really sorry, but I think we have to close the session. Thank you really, really much, Jessica and Steffi, for your really helpful information. I think you helped our users a lot. I myself learned something new also. Thank you for that. And I hope that users enjoyed the session as well. To our users, if we haven't answered your question yet, and I know there are questions left unanswered, please don't be mad, don't be sad. Just get in touch with us on our Facebook page, which you can see down there.
On the left.
On our Facebook page or in our contact form on Study In. And you can also contact the really nice colleagues of Uni-Assist sorry, to get your questions answered. If you missed a part of the session, we will upload the whole webinar recording to Uni-Assist, latest by next week on YouTube, or in case of China, we're going to send the file to our to our office in China, and they're going to upload it to another network. But in any case, you will be able to watch the session again. Yeah, stay connected with us on YouTube or on Facebook or on our website in general. Yeah, thanks again to you, Steffi, and Jessica. And yeah,
Pleasure.
yeah, for me too. I hope for you as well, dear users. Now I have to say goodbye to all of you. Yeah, and see you again, dear users, and yeah, goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.